Hi, I'm Mark Newman, and I'm a total asshole. But not for the reasons you think. See, I'm about to portray the secret code that every man lives by, and dish out the dirt on what even the best of men are hiding from you, and it's going to destroy my reputation. That's because the secrets will allow any woman to turn the tables on any man, regardless of what you look like, how much you weigh, or even if your relationship history is a total train wreck. The underground information I'm about to share will transform your red flag sensors into a razor-sharp profiling system, one that cuts right through the liars, cheaters, addicts, leeches, and commitment phobes. All those guys who hide their passwords, ignore your texts, and keep their phones face down at dinner, yet somehow will manage to suck your bank account dry. Sound familiar? Well, I promise you, these are the keys to unlock any man's mind and keep the right one hooked forever. And just to show you I'm 100% serious about this, I'm going to give you the number one tip right now, which is coming to you straight from a retired player's mouth. Ready? You can't get these guys to stop lying, cheating, drinking, mooching, or avoiding your calls, because it's not your job. In fact, your one and only job is to attract the man you want, desire, and deserve. Sounds so simple, yet seems so hard, right? Well, it's not difficult at all if you've got the right bag of tricks. Because if you settle for anything less than awesome, it will only lead to a pill-popping life with an unhealthy cat obsession. And we all know what that looks like. Once you discover the taboo and cryptic secrets hidden deep inside a man's brain, which, trust me, aren't that hard to figure out if you know the insider's track, not only will you find Mr. Right, but he'll be so obsessed with you that he won't ever be able to think about another woman, because his wandering eye will be snapped shut, like blinds on a shady motel room window. He'll be bending over backwards to answer your every beck and call, bragging to his family and friends about what a knockout you are, introducing you to everyone he knows, in the hopes that you'll make friends with them and you feel bad about ever leaving. The only thing you'll have to decide is whether to date him or have him arrested for stalking you. I call it the table turner, and it works. Trust me. How do I know? Well, because it was expertly used on me by my fiancée. Yep, that's me in those pictures, looking like a love-struck puppy dog. But I couldn't help it, and I still can't, because once I met her, something in my brain snapped into place. And even though I swore I was never getting married, that I was too busy working to make time for a relationship, just months after meeting her, I found myself forking over an insane amount of money to buy her the most brilliant diamond I could possibly find. And now we're planning a wedding that's making me look like a Rockefeller, which I'm not. Now I know you'll probably experienced the horrible heartbreak and disappointment of men in the past. Sitting alone on weekends, watching Netflix TV show marathons, trolling Facebook and Instagram for anyone who's still awake, jealous of all the married people you know, with cute little babies that make it seem you'll never get the chance to live the life you always dreamed, and really making you question your worth as a woman. But here's the thing. If you're currently in a life-draining relationship, questioning whether or not he's the one, and if you're crying way more than laughing, then turn up your speakers right now. Because in the next few minutes, you're going to get the inside access to strange relationship secrets men will never admit. These are shocking revelations that you can use to capture and keep the heart of any man you choose, all while avoiding the colossal dating mistakes women unknowingly make that push men away. Now pay attention to the next part, because I bet you resorted to at least 3 of the major no-nos I'm about to list out for you. Plus, you'll discover how to get the best sex of your life every single time you try. The best part is, all of this is possible with a few of the simple man-grabbing steps I'm about to reveal. But before you venture deep inside the recesses of the male mind, which by the way includes a lot more than just food, sleep, and sex, I should properly introduce myself and let you know why you should listen to every word I'm about to say. Like I mentioned earlier, my name is Mark Newman, and I'm a recovering which I finally refer to now as relationship expert. I spent the last 7 years of my life helping both men and women improve their relationships and sex lives, whether it was pre-marriage, post-marriage, or even just personal counseling for those having trouble finding the love that they deserve. And let me tell you, I've seen just about everything. Cheaters, liars, manipulators, users, and abusers. So nothing shocks me when it comes to relationships anymore. I even had a client who found out her fiancé was engaged to another woman at the same time. Plus, he was gay, but that's a story for a different time. And while I do feel bad for my clients, because most of them come to me crushed and devastated, some of these women unknowingly did it to themselves. And before you start yelling at the screen, calling me a typical man, please listen to everything I'm about to reveal, so you can see exactly what I'm talking about, because I'm not your stereotypical douchebag of a man. You know the type. The guy who makes you feel special at first, but never really gets around to telling you that he loves you. And while you totally believe he's only seeing you, in reality he's dating, using, and hooking up with an endless supply of women, leading you on just enough to ensure you're always there when he feels like a toss in the hay. How do I know all of this? Because before I met the woman who would completely change my life in one single night and trip the trigger in my brain, I was a manipulative boyfriend who was never really committed. I always had one foot out the door, as I was always looking for the BBD, the bigger, better deal. I've had lots of girlfriends, but I never once thought of them as more than someone to pass the time with, have sex with, and get gifts from. And they certainly never met my family. I admit, I enjoyed casual, commitment-free dating and having lots of sex. And with the new social media world of Instagram and online dating apps, I had millions of beautiful, sexy women that I could hook up with any night of the week. I never saw myself as the settling down type. I never saw myself committing to any woman, and I certainly never saw myself getting married. I saw myself as a single bachelor who was going to live the ultimate life of random hookups and no commitments. I even admit to sneaking off at night to masturbate to porn after some girls didn't perform to my standards. Don't get me wrong, the sex was okay, but it certainly wasn't worthy of a standing ovation, if you know what I mean. I sometimes even texted other women while on dates to girls who thought they were my girlfriend. I know you're probably shaking your head in utter disgust, but let me reassure you, all my Playboy days ended the very moment that I met her. Something about her zapped my brain and made every other woman completely disappear. And it wasn't because she was drop-dead beautiful, which she is. And it wasn't because she was voluptuous, which she definitely is. Something about her instantly tripped my brain, and I forgot that other women even existed. And that the same mysterious something is still working now. I remember our first date like it was yesterday. It was on Delray Beach, Florida. I admit I purposely made the first date on the beach just so I could see her in the bikini right away. I met her while I was using the online dating app Tinder, the same app where I meet countless other meaningless hookups. And honestly, I went into this date planning how I could get her into bed as quickly and effortlessly as possible. But my attempt to get her to blow my mind on our first date instantly changed when I first met her. My usual cocky attitude was replaced by a meek and nervous one. Instead of having my usual go-to moves, the same proven moves that had worked on countless other women, I was timid and petrified of saying the wrong thing. I found myself looking at other guys on the beach to see if I stacked up against them. I suddenly found myself wanting to be the only man she desired. I kept panicking and wondering what it was about her that was drawing me like a magnet, paralyzing me with every word that came out of her mouth. Instead of offering to take her out for drinks so that I could easily seduce her out of her clothes, I found myself wanting to take things slow with her and craving to know everything about her, which had my mind spinning and racing. I instantaneously knew right then that this was a girl that I wanted to take seriously and pursue. But what was it about this girl that made me yearning for more? As soon as I got home, I immediately deactivated all of my online dating profiles and cut off my relationships with every other woman I was seeing. For the next several months, I tirelessly chased, seduced, fantasized, and wanted only her. Until finally, after months of me vying for her attention, she agreed to be my girlfriend. And no, before you assume she was playing the standard girl game of playing hard to get, you're wrong. That game never works and will drive any man that is worthy of you away faster than Charlie Sheen can say, winning, after doing 3 lines of coke. There was just something about her that I couldn't quite put my finger on. And even after we started dating, I kept finding myself wanting more. Until I finally decided that I couldn't bear the thought of ever losing her. And I got down on one knee and asked her to marry me. And when she lovingly said yes, pure euphoria filled my entire body. I suddenly had everything I never even realized I wanted. That's right. I was your typical piece of shit boyfriend until 4 years ago when I absolutely fell in love with a woman I never even saw coming. I went from being an emotionally dead player to being weak at the knees in love. And I fall more and more in love with her with each day that passes. What is the one thing about her that instantly erased every other woman from my brain? What did she do that made me so elated just to be hers, when I was convinced that I never wanted to be anyone's at all? And how can you discover the same almost magical powers to instantly trigger the player off switch in the guy's mind? You've had your... Great question. And here's the answer that men definitely do not want me to tell you. To make a man fall absolutely head over heels in love with only you, even if he thinks he isn't relationship material, and if he has nothing to do with how you look, what your dress size is, how much makeup you wear, if your hair is done 24/7, or how big your breasts are. You see, most women make deadly relationship-killing mistakes, sabotaging their relationships before they even get started. And before I reveal my man-grabbing system, you must know the top 7 relationship killers that either have ruined relationships with amazing men or have attracted the liars, users, abusers, and manipulators right to you, like a leech sucking the life out of you. So listen up, as 95% of the women who walk through my door make at least 3 of these cutthroat relationship mistakes. Mistake number 1, being too aggressive and not allowing him to pursue you. This is probably one of the biggest mistakes women make, especially in this day and age when women tend to be just as successful, or in some cases, more successful than men. Explaining the boom in men simply hooking up with women to use them to pay their bills and for nice gifts. In order for women to excel in their careers, they often have to be very dominant and very aggressive. They have to show they can do the job just as good, if not better, than any man. Unfortunately, women take their aggressive work roles and unknowingly inflict it onto their relationships, instantly making a man feel like he isn't the man in the relationship and that you are. And once a man loses his masculinity in your relationship, there is no chance he will ever commit to you. He will just use you when he is bored for a quick laugh, sex, and gifts, all while leading you on just enough to keep you love-struck so his ego is constantly being stroked. Mistake number 2, playing mind games. If there is one thing women are good at, it's playing mind games and using manipulation tactics to get what they want. The sad part is, this is what many women have been taught to do. They feel as though they have to play mind games in order to attract a man and get him to commit. While playing mind games might get you a lot of potential initially, it won't get you the committed, long-term relationship you truly seek. Instead, it will result in yet another man pulling away from you, as he keeps his phone on silent at all times and sneaks off to masturbate to erotic porn as you sleep at night. Mistake number 3, insecurities. One of the biggest reasons women have such a hard time attracting a good man is because they don't know their own worth. As a result, they will sell themselves short and settle for the bad boy who treats them like pure dirt. I've seen beautiful women walk through my doors heartbroken and on the verge of suicide because their entire dating history is painted with nothing but manipulators, liars, cheaters, users, and abusers. Sick asses who took advantage of their insecurities to easily manipulate them. I'm talking about drop-dead gorgeous women who definitely have nothing to be insecure about. Mistake number 4, looking for a man to complete you. Newsflash, ladies. No one can complete you but you. That is your responsibility. If your happiness is dependent upon being in a relationship with a man, you are in for the rudest awakening of your life. Men hate needy women. We find it to be just as annoying as nails dragging on a chalkboard. Men love a confident woman, one who not only knows who she is, but also knows what she wants and doesn't need us to do it. Mistake number 5, trying to change him. You want to know the fastest way to turn off a man? Try to change him. Men don't want to be looked at as your latest DIY project. Changing a man is not your job. That's his job. Yes, you should expect your man to grow and evolve, but it shouldn't be on your schedule, because you will come off as a nagging woman, and he will start to wander and look for a woman who accepts him for who he is. Try putting yourself in his shoes for a moment. How would you feel if he was constantly insulting you and bringing up all of your flaws? It wouldn't feel too good, would it? Well, it doesn't feel good when you do it to him either. And if he's not evolving fast enough for you, or not committing fast enough, you will never be able to force him to. Which leads me to the next mistake. Mistake number 6, ultimatums. Ultimatums always backfire and push men away. Men only truly commit if he feels like he's made his own choice to commit. A man must feel like he's earned a woman, and this doesn't mean play hard to get. When a man finally makes a decision to commit to a woman, he will fight for love of his wife, and even would walk barefoot through shards of glass just to get to wherever she is. Mistake number 7, assuming he wants to commit to you, which is the number 1 player secret men do not want me to share. Just because a man pursues you doesn't mean he wants to commit to you. The harsh reality is that some men are only pursuing you in an effort to have sex. And yes, there are some guys who make it really obvious. They have no game. I'm just being honest. Before I met my fiancée, I was one of those shitty guys. And I'm telling you, I could easily make any woman believe she was the only one I had my eyes on, ensuring I could add another notch on my belt while avoiding either having to bring her home. I could have cared less about having a real and loving relationship with any of these women. So don't just assume that if a man is pursuing you, and if you're having sex, you're the only one he's dipping his stick in. And those are just 7 of the colossal dating mistakes that women make time and time again, instantly putting the brakes on any relationship, and instantly attracting all the losers who have taken advantage of you. And once you overcome those colossal dating mistakes as well as trigger his need to commit in his mind, you will instantly turn the tables on any man, even those adamant about never committing, to get down on one knee. Suddenly, the boy you've been dating instantly turns into the man you have craved and desired since you saw your first Disney movie. and you will spontaneously become hunted, pursued, and wanted by tall, handsome, and successful men who are not only ready to, but want nothing more than to give you the unbelievable love you want and hunger for. And if you're thinking that's amazing, but how do I actually do it? Exactly what do you do, and exactly what do you say to make a guy fall in love with you and to become infatuated with you and only you, just like my fiance did to me? I can't tell you, but I can introduce you to who can. You see, about 2 years ago, my fiance's sister Erica came to stay with us after she caught her fiance of 18 months acting like a single man on an online dating site. To make matters even worse, the poor girl found out when she was visiting her future in-laws to plan their wedding. Her fiancé had left his phone behind, and she couldn't find hers. So she innocently picked up his phone right in front of his mother so she could call her phone in order to find it. The next thing she remembers is the heart-crushing message that popped up on the screen saying, "Looking forward to seeing you this weekend." That was the crushing blow she never saw coming. And when my fiancé listened to the story, she interrupted and said, "Sweetie, you should have seen the signs. I don't see how you were so blindsided." To which Erica replied, "Not everyone has the superpowers you do to get every man to fall in love with them like you do." This piqued my curiosity, as I've spent years wondering what it was about her that made me so in love with her. What was it about her that turned the tables and flipped the switch in my head? How did she dive into my brain so deep that even a brain surgeon couldn't drill deep enough to get her out? How did she walk into my life and instantly eradicate the thought of any other woman from my brain? I began to pay more attention, and I even interjected by bragging that before I met her, I never wanted a serious relationship with anyone, and then grabbed her hand and told her from the moment that I met her that I had never felt more attracted to a woman in my entire life. And it wasn't just because she was drop-dead gorgeous. It was something about her that I couldn't quite put my finger on. And to this day, it was still keeping me wondering what she is doing and thinking 24/7. She laughed and openly admitted that she used her secret techniques to sneak into the back of my mind and to make me fall in love with her, and that she had learned them from another woman. I couldn't believe, and shockingly, I didn't feel manipulated. I felt compelled as a relationship expert to know more. This is when my fiancée suggested that her sister see her friend and that I could possibly tag along to discover more. At first, her sister thought my fiancé was kooky and refused to go. I convinced her it may be a good thing. I admit I was partially being selfish. I wanted to know for myself what my fiancé had done to crawl deep into the back of my mind. When I first met Ashley Fletcher, I didn't know what to think. Honestly, she was an average-looking woman who had her hair tied back with no makeup and shuffling around 3 kids all under the age of 10. She definitely didn't appear to be a woman who could hold some superpowers over men. I mean, her hobbies before she even had kids consisted of reading, gardening, and painting, and she loved to watch Star Wars marathons. Definitely not the sexy man-eating vixen that I had imagined. As Erica began to explain her painful situation to Ashley, I learned a few simple secrets that blew my mind. She had an understanding of men I simply couldn't believe. During her and Erica's conversation, she taught us about psychological embeds that instantly block out every other woman from a man's brain, and how to tweak them to drive a man to an incredible emotional ecstasy. How men secretly yearn for commitment and even marriage, even if they don't realize it. And how to turn that yearning into a primal need, where he'll do anything to make you his. Even how any woman can change her loser player boyfriend to the loving and doting boyfriend they deserve. And why beauty is actually the only third most important thing to men, and how they can be radiantly attractive without tons of makeup and without killing yourself in the gym. And much, much more. When her and Erica's conversation was over, Erica seemed happy, but I wasn't. I instantly saw the happiness and relief on Erica's face and realized that there were thousands of women who needed to know what only Ashley Fletcher could teach them. I'm talking about the thousands of women who keep falling into bad relationships with nothing but cheaters, moochers, sex addicts, porn addicts, liars, and manipulators, and needed a hand from her to turn the tables and instantly discover what real love from a man felt like. The thousands of women who deserved a relationship like what I have with my fiancé, and the thousands of men who were just waiting for the right girl to figure this stuff out and give him the happiness he wants so much, but could never admit to. And this is when I literally begged Ashley to let me share with the world what she knew about love and dating and how to get a guy to totally commit. She initially refused, stating she didn't want the fame or to be on TV. And with how the internet and social media has boomed, she definitely didn't want her face plastered around and being scrutinized. I promised to keep her privacy a secret. And after sharing with her how her secrets worked on me and changed my life from being an asshole loser boyfriend to being completely in love with my fiancé, she finally agreed. And over the next several months, I worked with Ashley to extract every technique, every trick, every single male mind hacking trick. Secrets like Did you know that a man's type goes much further than just whether or not he likes blondes or brunettes? Or if he likes big breasts or smaller ones? Men have a specific archetype that they are instantly attracted to, and depending on whether he's attracted to the seductress like Cleopatra, the librarian, the waif like Dorothy of Wizard of Oz, the free spirit like Janis Joplin, the activist like Gloria Steinman, or the nurturer like their mom, will depend on if you will trigger the switch in his brain to only want to commit to you or waste years of your life, being someone that he's biologically not even attracted to. Don't worry, you can change his perception without changing who you are. I also discovered the real reason as to why men watch porn, and it isn't what you think, and so much more. If you're ready to end the misery, the breakups, the loneliness, and so much more, then I'm excited to present what I call The Art of Making Him Yours, a woman's definitive relationship guide. This table turner is a step-by-step, almost done-for-you guide that teaches you how to crawl into a man's body, mind, and soul and make him not just fall in love with you, but to actually commit to you on a deep level. And this man-mind hacking system not only worked on me, it helped Erica fix her relationship with her wandering fiancé to the point where they're happily married and expecting their second child now. But it has worked on thousands of other women just like you. Women like Elena Ryan from Port St. Lucie, Florida, who says, "When my boyfriend and I met 3 years ago, it was a whirlwind in the beginning. But we went from being incredibly happy to fighting over every little thing for about 10 months. I became so desperate to stop the fighting, I searched Google for answers, and that is when I came across your site. Once I discovered how to hack into my boyfriend's mind, the fights instantly stopped, and we were back to being incredibly happy again. The best part is, I'm doing it without having to keep my mouth shut in order to avoid a fight." And Jen Savino from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, who says, "Thank you for giving me the courage to kick my ass of an ex-boyfriend to the curb. He was truly holding me back from life. After following your tricks, I was able to meet my dream man, and we're getting married in 3 months." Then there's Ella Myers from Spokane, Washington, who says, "I was convinced I would be alone forever. Every man I met seemed to never have his shit together. I mean, seriously, the amount of men that never have the money for their own bills is absurd, not to mention even take me out for a drink. I've wasted thousands of dollars over the past decade on worthless men. This guy not only led me to my husband of 4 months, but is also saving me money on broke-ass men at the same time." Or Tracy Wilden from Kittery, Maine, who says, "I totally thought my boyfriend had a porn problem until I read this guide. Now he never watches porn, if you know what I mean." Tatiana Diaz of Pembroke Pines, Florida says, "What a shock society has been lying to women for years. Playing hard to get doesn't work, and when a boy hits you, that doesn't mean he likes you. What is sad is it's like we're all bred to be in unhappy relationships because of the lies we've been fed. This guide really opens up the inside of a man's brain and reveals much more than just food and sex. I was shocked to find out that by simply using your little mind embeds that I could instantly control any man's brain. Now I'm in control in my relationship and he doesn't even know it." Monica Porter of Charleston, West Virginia says, "I love the fact that I can now laser target in on any man I want and know right away whether he's worth my time or not." And those are just 6 of the hundreds of testimonials I receive on a monthly basis from women who are able to outplay the players by simply following Ashley Fletcher's The Art of Making Him Yours, a Woman's Definitive Relationship Guide. And as you can see, this is powerful and life-changing. It's the table turner to finally going from Mr. Wrong to finally attracting and keeping the man you deserve. The man who wants to be with only you, and a man that will permanently bleach the idea of another woman from his mind, ensuring he is unequivocally in love with you, while guaranteeing that he only has eyes for you, as he appreciates you and waits on your every beck and call. Not because he has to, but because he wants to. Here is just a tiny taste of what you'll discover if you're one of the lucky few to download The Art of Making Him Yours today. First, you'll discover subtle psychological triggers in a man's mind to instantly transform yourself into the irresistible woman he'd crawl over broken glass just to have in his arms. How to get any man to approach you and start chasing you, like a dog chasing its tail. How to instantly demand a man's focus and have him wondrously drawn to you like a magnet, even if you're 10 years older and 15 pounds heavier than any other girl in the room, locking him in to have you in his tunnel vision. You'll discover the actual truth about men's minds, what men are really thinking about when they meet you, and how to stun a guy by showing him that you understand his secret needs, desires, and fears better than any woman he has met in his life. Psychological mind triggers that instantly repulse cheaters, players, users, and abusers so you never waste your time again. You'll learn why a man loses interest in you after having sex, and you'll unlock the shocking secrets about porn that no man wants you to know, and believe me, it's not what you're thinking. new turn-ons and new sex triggers that will double his sexual desire for you while destroying his desire to ever watch porn again. What commitment really means to a man, no matter what he tells you. How to instantly defeat his fear of commitment and have a guy actually dreaming about spending the rest of your life with you. How to tell if you're his archetype, and how you can mold yourself without changing who you are to unlock his primal attraction, and much more. Here is my promise to you. Go through and read The Art of Making Him Yours. Learn how to hack into a man's mind by planting psychological embeds into his mind, enabling you to crawl into the deepest and darkest crevices in his brain, ensuring that no matter what he does, he will never be able to remove you from his mind. You'll have all the power in the relationship, while he thinks he does. And when you combine the psychological mind hacks that my fiancé used on me and discover the tantalizing seductive secrets that will make any woman irresistible, you'll feel like you have super man powers. And that is because men will start to flock to you as you radiantly and confidently walk into any room, even if you're in a room full of 21-year-old supermodels. You'll be able to instantly plant the seed of him wanting and yearning to know everything about you, giving you the power to attract, seduce, and keep any man. I'm talking about you having the ability to have your pick of tall, handsome men. Men who are not into playing games. Men who are not looking for their next sexual conquest. Men who are not looking for a woman to pay their bills. I'm talking about men who are willing to do just about anything to prove they only want you. Now I want you to imagine walking into a bar or your local coffee shop and instantly catching the eye of every single guy, giving you the power to choose who you want more. And after spending an incredible evening together, he blows up your phone, anticipating when he can see you next, giving you the power to decide if you want to see him or not. Now imagine that same guy, whether he's a new guy or your current man, totally fixated on your every word, wanting nothing more than to do what you want, when you want it, because you're everything he ever dreamed of, and unbeknownst to him, he will immediately be hooked on you like a drug. And while all of this is just around the corner for you, when you download Ashley Fletcher's The Art of Making Him Yours, I do have bad news. Ashley initially wanted to charge $197 because of the depth of the training and because of the results you will get with The Art of Making Him Yours, and also because she only wants women who are truly ready for love to download this powerful system. I agreed, as I don't want just any woman to learn these man mind-hacking triggers because they could use them to hurt innocent men instead of using them to find true love. But because you watched this entire presentation, I want to do something very special for you. So here's the good news. First, I convinced Ashley that $197 is too much, and that's when she decided to cut the fee from $197 to just $97. That is less than paying a cell phone bill for a loser boyfriend. But I realized that's still a little pricey for the average woman, especially for those who have wasted hundreds or even thousands of dollars on shady men. And I know, since you've watched this video up to this point, you want this. You want my relationship, and Ashley's with her husband. You want a relationship where you wake up happy every day, instead of trying to wash streaked mascara and eyeliner off your face from crying yourself to sleep yet again. And I want that for you too, because this easily could be your last chance to get the men you deserve and desire. We all know the bitter old cat ladies that are angry at the men they settled for. I don't want you to be a bitter old angry woman, and you can have the love you desire all by clicking on the button below. And when you click on the button, you will secure Ashley Fletcher's man-mind hacking system for the incredible price you see below. That incredible low price is less than the cost of 99% of the gifts you're continuously wasting on Mr. Wrong. All you have to do, open the doors to your new life, is click on the button below. And of course, you're protected by my 100% risk-free money-back guarantee. Here's how this works. All you have to do is just say, maybe, to The Art of Making Him Yours. Go through the guide, and if for any reason you aren't able to get any man wrapped around your finger, simply send me an email and I will refund 100% of your investment. The way I see it, you only have two options. Number one, be stuck attracting the losers, moochers, liars, cheaters, and manipulators. You know the guys who always keep their phones on silent and flipped over so you can't ever see who's texting them. The guys who creep off in the middle of the night to masturbate to porn as you sleep alone in bed. The guys that were always on the lookout for a more attractive woman, all while leading you on and sleeping with countless other women. Or, number two, download The Art of Making Him Yours and discover what real love, real commitment, and what a real man feels like. So here's the deal. If you're ready to find a new man, attract him immediately, and make him stay with you forever, then hit that magic button below. Be prepared to plunder the forbidden secrets locked deeply in a man's mind to make him yours now. Because being kept in the dark is for mushrooms, not you. You deserve better, and The Art of Making Him Yours holds the mind-hacking steps you